Good morning, students. Today we will proceed our chapter Light, Reflection and Refraction, and today's topic is image formation takes place by spherical lenses. First of all, we will see how image formation takes place by convex lens. So with the help of ray diagram, I will explain that. So we will see how the ray diagrams can be made in case of convex lenses. So in order to make ray diagram, we have to keep in mind the rules for convex lenses in case of making ray diagram. Okay, now the various positions of where the object is kept, we have to find out where the image formation takes place. First case, when the object is placed at infinity, when the object is placed at infinite distance, where the image formation takes place. So we will see the image formation with the help of a ray diagram. So this is convex lens. Now when the object is placed at infinite distance, so at infinite distance the rays parallel to the principal axis falls on the lens and they, okay, this is our convex lens, this is optical center, F1, this is C1, or this can be called 2F1, C2, this is F2, C2, which can be called 2F2. So, the ray of parallel beams of light falls on the lens and after refraction pass through the principal focus on the other side of the lens, present on the other side of the lens. So, first rule that if the incident ray parallel to the principal axis, after refraction they pass through the principal focus on the other side of the lens. So that is F2. Similarly, all the parallel rays will meet at this point, which is called principal focus. So these get refracted, these rays get refracted and they will meet at this point, which is called principal focus, located on the other side of the lens. So image formation takes place here. So this point is F2. The position of the image at focus F2, principal focus F2. Now the size of the image. The size of the image is very small, highly diminished. Point size, highly diminished, or we can say point sized. Now next, the nature of the image. The image is real and inverted. Real can be obtained on a screen and inverted, upside down, inverted. So real and inverted images formed. So when the object is placed at infinity, then image formation takes place at principal focus, located on the other side of the lens. The image is highly diminished and it is real and inverted. So figure A, which is for the first case, then when the object is placed at infinite distance. Now the second, when the object is beyond C1, when the object is beyond C1 or 2F1. So this is our convex lens, optical center, F1, this is C1, it can be called 2F1, twice of F1, so it is 2F1. Is F2, this is C2, 2F2, also called 2F2. So, when the object is placed beyond 2F1 or C1, if an object is placed beyond 2F1, object is AB is our object, is placed beyond C1. So, where the image formation takes place, at least 2 refracted rays are required. So applying the rule, I am taking first ray which is parallel to the principal axis. Incident on this convex lens. So after refraction it will pass through the principal focus on the other side of the lens. So here. So it is passes from F2. Now second, I am taking this ray which is passing through the optical center. This ray passing through the optical center. If a ray passing through the optical center, then it pass without any deviation. It will pass without any deviation. This is the third rule. So, passing through the optical center, it is passed without any deviation, and these two rays meet at this point. At this point. So, this is between F2 and 2F2. So, here the image formation takes place, and so here the image formation takes place. A dash, B dash is our image. The image is real and inverted, and it is diminished as compared to the size of the object. So, when the object is placed beyond C1, then the image formation takes place between F2 and 2F2. Okay, so the position of the image is between F2 and 2F2. Size of the image, it is diminished. It is diminished, and nature of the image is real and inverted. So, real and inverted image is formed in this case. So, in this way, you can easily make ray diagrams for other cases of convex lens also. Now the third case, when the object is placed at 2F1. When the object is at 2F1, AB is our object, is placed at 2F1. So, one ray parallel to the principal axis falls on the lens. After refraction, pass through F2. Principal focus F2 on the other side of the lens. And second ray pass through the optical center. Pass without any deviation. These two rays meet at C2 or 2F2. So these rays meet here, and this is 2F2. So the image formation takes place at 2F2. Image formation takes place at 2F2. The image is same size as the size of the object. A dash, B dash is our image, and its size is same as the size of AB object. So same size. So the size of the image, same size as the size of the object. Nature of the image is real and inverted. Real and inverted images formed. Real image, this can be obtained on a screen, but it is upside down. Inverted images formed. Now the fourth case. When the object is placed between F1 and 2F1, figure D. Okay, when the object is placed, this is C1, this is F1. Okay, C1 is also called 2F1, so the object is placed between F1 and 2F1. This is our object, AB. Okay, now, first ray parallel to the principal axis, pass parallel to the principal axis, so after refraction goes through principal focus F2, passing through F2. Second ray passes through the optical center O, and pass without any deviation. These two rays meet at this point. So here image formation takes place. Image formation takes place here. So the image is formed behind, it is formed beyond 2F2. So the position of the image is beyond 2F2. Image is formed behind 2F2. Okay, the image is, size of the image, it is enlarged. it is enlarged. As compared to the object, the image is enlarged. A dash B dash is our image. It is enlarged. Now nature of the image. It is real and inverted. So real and inverted images formed in this case also. Now the next case, the fifth case, when the object is placed at f1. Position of the object at focus f1. When the object is placed at f1, this AB is our object. So where the image formation takes place, first ray parallel to the principal axis, after refraction passes through principal focus f2. Second ray passing through optical center pass without any deviation. So these rays are not appear to be meet. So the image formation will take place at infinite distance. So the position of the image is at infinity. At this case, when the object is at f1. This is just reverse of the first case, when the object is placed at infinite distance and the image formation takes place at principal focus on the other side of the lens. So here the object is at principal focus and the image formation takes place at infinity. Now the size of the image. The size of the image is highly enlarged. The image is highly enlarged. It is highly enlarged. And the nature of the image, it is real and inverted image. It is real and inverted image in this case. Now the last case, when the object is placed between f1 and optical center O. When the object AB is our object, when it is placed between f1 and optical center. So where the image formation takes place, let's see. First ray parallel to the principal axis, after refraction passes through f2. Okay. Now second ray goes from optical center, pass without any deviation. So when we extend these refracted rays, they meet at this point. So the image formation takes place here, which is on the same side of the lens as the object is present. So the image formation takes place on this side where the object is present. So the position of the image on the same side of the lens as the object. And size of the image, it is enlarged. It is enlarged as compared to the size of the object. So A dash, B dash is our image. It is enlarged as compared to the object. Now nature of the image. The image is virtual. It cannot be obtained on a screen and it is formed above the principal axis. So it is erect image. It is erect image. So in this case we get erect and virtual image when the object is very close to the lens between f1 and optical center. So here we get virtual and erect image. Next, image formation takes place in case of concave lens, ray diagrams. Now there are two cases in which we have studied a ray diagram. How can we make the ray diagram? First, when the object is at infinite position, at infinity. When the object at infinity, then the rays of light, the rays parallel to the principal axis falls on the lens. After refraction, they appears to diverge from a point, that is principal focus, lie on the same side of the lens. Similarly, all the parallel rays, they appear to diverge from this point. This is the principal focus, lie on the same side of the lens. So the position of the image at focus f1. The image is formed at f1. The size of the image. The image is highly diminished. Point-sized image is formed. The nature of the image is virtual and erect. Virtual image, it cannot be obtained on a screen. And it is erect image. It is formed above the principal axis. So erect image is formed. Second case, when the object is present between infinity and optical center O of the lens. When the object is present between optical center and infinity, here the object AB is present. Now, where the image formation takes place, let's see. First ray pass parallel to the principal axis. After refraction, it appears to diverge from this point. F1 focus present on the same side of the lens. When we extend this line, you will find that it will join at F1. So, next ray passing through the optical center, it passes without any deviation. So, these two rays meet at this point. So, here the image formation takes place. Here the image formation takes place. A dash B dash is our image. It is found on the same side of the lens. So, the position of the image, it is found between F1 and optical center. It is found between F1 and optical center. The size of the image, it is very small as compared to the size of the object AB. So, diminished image is formed in this case. The nature of the image. The image is, it is virtual and erect. It is formed above the principal axis, so erect image is formed. It cannot be taken on a screen, so virtual image. So virtual and erect images formed in this case. So in this way, students, you can easily make ray diagram for the concave lenses, and by knowing the rules, you can easily make the ray diagram for the spherical lenses. Our next topic is sign convention for spherical lenses. Sign convention for spherical lenses. So there are certain rules. So all distances are measured from the optical center of the lens. All the distances are measured from the optical center. It is taken as the origin. All distances measured in the same direction of incident light are taken as positive. This is the direction of incident light. So the direction along the incident light are taken as positive. So the direction along the incident light taken as positive. And the distance measured in the direction opposite to the direction of the incident light are taken as negative. So the direction, this is the direction against the incident light. This arrow shows the direction against the incident light. So they are taken as negative. Heights, fourth point, height measured upward and perpendicular to the principal axis are taken as positive. So this is principal axis, x dash. So the height upwards and above the principal axis are taken as positive. So the object height is taken as positive. Okay? And virtual image is taken as it is out the principal axis taken as positive. Inverted image is taken as negative. The height measured downwards and perpendicular to the principal axis are taken negative. They are taken as negative. Okay, so the height below the principal axis, they are taken as negative. The downward heights are taken as negative. So we have to keep in mind these sign convention while dealing with spherical lenses. Lens formula and magnification. First, lens formula. What is lens formula? Lens formula is mathematical relation between the object distance u, image distance v, and focal length f of a spherical mirror. So these three are related to each other by this relation in lens formula. 1 upon v minus 1 upon u is equal to 1 upon f. 1 upon image distance, these image distance minus 1 upon object distance is equal to 1 upon focal length. So this is the lens formula. So we have to apply lens formula in certain problems, mathematical sums related to spherical lenses. So we know the focal length of a convex lens is taken as positive, and focal length of a concave lens is taken as negative. Now after this, magnification. The ratio of the size of the image formed by the lens to the size of the object is called magnification. The ratio of the size of the image to the size of the object formed by the lens is called its magnification. It is denoted by small m. So small m is equal to size of the image divided by size of the object. H dash upon h, where h dash is the height of the image. Height of the image, size means height. And h is equal to height of the object. So the formula magnification m is equal to h dash upon h. Magnification produced by a lens is also related to the object distance u and image distance v as. Magnification is also related to the v and u as magnification is equal to v upon u, image distance divided by object distance. So m, the formula of m is also v upon u. And magnification is positive for a virtual image formed by a lens. So m is positive for virtual image, and m is negative for a real image formed by a lens. So m is negative for real image formed by a lens. So students, we have to keep all these sign or all these things in mind while solving the mathematical sums related to the lens formula, based on lens formula and magnification. Our next topic is power of a lens. The power of a lens is defined as the reciprocal of its focal length. The reciprocal of the focal length is called power of a lens. So P is equal to 1 upon F. F, focal length, is in meter. If it is in meter, then 1 upon F. If focal length is in centimeter, then the formula of P power is equal to 100 upon F. If focal length is in centimeter. Okay. The SI unit of power of a lens is diopter. Diopter is the SI unit of power of a lens, and it is represented by capital D. Diopter is represented by capital D. One diopter is defined as the power of a lens whose focal length is 1 meter. So 1 diopter is the power of a lens whose focal length is 1 meter. If focal length is 1 meter, then P is equal to 1 upon F. F is 1 meter, so 1 upon 1, that is meter inverse M. So that is 1 diopter. It is equal to 1 diopter. So it is the definition of 1 diopter, that the power of a lens is said to be 1 diopter when its focal length is 1 meter. Now the power of converging lens. The power of converging lens, that is convex lens, is positive. It is positive because its focal length is positive. So its power is also positive. And the power of a diverging lens is negative. Diverging lens, that is concave lens. Concave lens is diverging lens, so its power is negative because its focal length is negative. Because its focal length is negative, so its power is also negative. So concave lens, which is used in case of correction of myopia. So the myopic person they have power value of lenses, eye lenses is negative, because for correction of myopic eye we use concave lens. So the focal length is in negative, so power is also in negative. And for convex lens, which is generally used for correction of hypermetropia, so the patients having positive value of eye lenses, power of eye lenses, because the focal length is positive. So the power of the lenses of the specs is also in positive value. So student, this is all about the topic, and this is all about the whole chapter. Okay, thank you.